Hey there everybody, welcome to the 4-String Strummer, the channel. It's all about ukuleles. This is going to be the first in a series of videos for beginners. So if you've just got your very first ukulele, you're just getting started out, this is the place for you, all right? The goal of these videos is to take you from zero knowledge of ukulele to the point where you're going to be able to open up a music book, take a look at the chord charts, figure out what the chords are, and play the songs through. All right, so let's get started with the very first lesson. Okay, so first off, let's take a look at how we are going to hold the instrument. So what you want to do is you want to have the instrument on a little bit of an angle, say something like, I don't know, 2 o'clock, something like that. You just sit it right onto your knee here, the lower bout, just drop that down onto your knee. And that's about where you want it. You can also look to have it on an angle out from your body a little bit. Don't have it flat against your body. Have it stick out a little bit. Kind of like that. Okay? That gives you a little bit more room. If it's too flat, your hand is back here and it makes it very uncomfortable. So just make it so sort of like your elbows beside your body and have that little bit of an angle out. Okay? Good. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the tuning of the instrument. So we're not going to get into a lot of notes and theory, etc., in this series. We're just not. Going to keep it real simple, layman's terms, okay? But these are the 4 notes that you're going to want to know. It's G, C, E, A. And the way that you can remember that is guitarists can easily adjust. So when guitarists grow up and they want to learn to play a great instrument, they can pick the ukulele and it's easier for them to adjust. Okay? Or for the film critics out there, George Clooney, excellent actor. All right? Goats can't eat apples. Whatever you want to use to remember it, those are your 4 notes. Now, to tune the instrument, there are a couple of things that you can use to help you. Number 1, and I think the best, is an electronic tuner. These just clip right on to the headstock of the instrument, and these work off of vibration, not off of a microphone. So outside sounds aren't going to affect this. Just the vibration that goes through the neck of the instrument gives you the exact note that you want. So you just hit this, just make sure it's on. Yeah, just hit this, and it will light up and tell you. Let me just see if I can get a good shot of it there. So you can see there's G, C, E, A. All right, and as long as it's in the center, then you know you've got the correct note. If it's off to one side, you know that you have to tune it down a little bit. If it's too low, you need to tune it back up, sharpen it up a little bit, okay? Makes it very easy to ensure that your instrument is in tune. Now, if you just got a brand new ukulele, just a little word of warning. Your ukulele may go out of tune quite often, and it's not that there's anything wrong with your instrument, so don't worry that there's something wrong with your tuners or whatever. It takes a while for new strings to stretch in. Once they get to that point where they're stretched all the way, they'll stay in tune or very close to tune a lot better. But for that first week or so, you'll probably be tuning it quite a bit. So don't worry that you got a dud instrument or anything like that, okay? Just continue to retune it, and after a while, the strings will settle in. Okay, so that's one type of tuner, the electronic tuner. That's what I would recommend. They're not very expensive, $10, $15 if you don't have one. The other way that you can do it, and this is free, is with an app on your phone or on your iPad, your tablet, whatever. Just put into the app search ukulele tuner and a whole bunch of them will come up. And again, they're free. They work great. You can just sit your phone on your lap there, and then as you play it, bing, 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 the notes, it will tell you whether you need to sharpen it, flatten it, whatever. And they work really, really well. The only little downside with them is that they work off of a microphone. So if there is ambient noise in the room, maybe somebody's got the TV on or something like that, sometimes it will pick up that and it'll kind of confuse it a little bit. So, but as long as it's relatively quiet, they work great. I use mine quite a bit as well. All right, so GCEA, make sure your uke's in tune, and then we're going to get started on the next part of the first lesson. All right, so for this part, we're going to talk a little bit about chords. We're going to play our first chord, and I'm going to teach you what a chord diagram is, how they work, and how these things are going to open up a huge world of music for you. All right, so over here, we've got a chord diagram for the chord C. So you can see all the lines going up and down. What it represents is the neck of the instrument, basically. Okay, so the top here, this is called the nut. These bars going across that you can see in the chord diagram, they represent the frets, these bars. Strings going up and down here, and those are the vertical lines that you see over there. So you can see on that chord diagram, there's a dot on it on the first string, what we call the first string here, and it's right on this third space. That's called the third fret, basically. So when they talk about, oh, go to the third fret, it means just behind the third fret. So in that third space. And what that indicates is that's where you put your finger, okay? So for this one, we're going to use our third finger, our ring finger, and we're going to put it right here in this third space on the first string, okay? Now you need to apply some pressure here, and you want to apply that right on the end of your finger. So if you look at my finger, there's probably even a line on it, yeah. That's where you want it. You don't want it on the pad of your finger here. You want it on the end of your finger there. So you bridge your finger up, kind of like that sort of a look, okay? Not like that, but more like that, okay? Put your finger there at the third fret in that third space and push down, and it should sound like this if you strum the strings. Okay, give it a try. If you hear something that sounds more like this, okay, there's two things you can check. One, and this is probably it, you need to apply a little bit more pressure to that string. So if you push a little bit harder, it'll clear up that note. Don't kill yourself like with a super death grip or anything though. Just push hard enough that you get that clear note. Just like that. Okay. The other thing that you can check is that you're not actually on top of that fret, on top of that bar. Not like that, like that. If you get it like that, you're going to get that dead note. Listen. See as I move it down? It gets clear. All right. Now let's try just a little strum again. Perfect. All right, let's get into our first strum now. Okay, so for our first strum, what we're going to do is I want you to tap your foot. Tap, 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 tap. Now I want you to imagine that your hand is attached, maybe your thumb is attached with a string to your big toe. Okay, so as you tap your toe down, your thumb goes down. As you tap your toe and your thumb goes down, your thumb brushes all the strings. Make sure you're getting that nice, clear sound with your C chord. Like that. Okay, that's your first chord, that's your first strum. Here comes your first song, ready? I got a girl in Baltimore, little Liza Jane. Streetcars running by her door, little Liza Jane. Oh, little Liza Jane. Oh, little Liza Jane. I know a girl in Chicago, little Liza Jane. I can feel the cold wind blow, little Liza Jane. Oh, little Liza Jane. Oh, little Liza Jane. All right, so you just played your first song. Okay, and don't downplay this, oh, it's only one chord, whatever, simple strum. There's a lot going on here, okay? So again, you're just getting started. You got to keep that note nice and clear all the way through, okay? So there's a few things you need to remember here. You don't want to let that pressure off. You don't want to be touching this fret, Okay, you want to make sure that you're on the end of your finger, and you want to keep a constant beat all the way through the song while all this is going on. Okay, so that's a good accomplishment. Give yourself a big thumbs up for that. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at another chord. And the next chord we're going to do over here is the F chord. So you can see on that, it's got a dot here on the second string at the first fret. So put your first finger there and take your second finger and you're going to put it on the second fret on the fourth string. Okay? So it looks like that. You can see it in the chord diagram there, and that's what it looks like in real life. Okay? Nice. Now, this is where that concept of ensuring that you're pushing on the string at the end of your finger, not laying your fingers down like that, but standing your fingers up more like this is important. Okay, because these need to bridge over other strings that need to ring open. Okay, so let me just show you. This one, I've got my finger on the string. The next string, I don't. It should be open. So it should ring like that. The next string, I've got my finger on at the first fret. And the next string needs to ring open. Like that. Now, if I'm laying my fingers down, here's what's going to happen. Okay, you can hear it's not right because these fingers are laying down and they're touching the other strings. If I stand them up, you see how that second string there, or the third string there is nice and open. If I lay it down, it deadens the sound. Okay, so now we got three things. We've got pressure. Am I giving enough pressure? Am I touching the fret? Doesn't look like it. And am I letting the strings ring that need to? Okay. Are my fingers arched up enough? So double check that and let's try that chord. Here we go. Strum it through. Good. All right. Now we're going to get tricky and we're going to go from our F chord to our C chord. So when you look at this, I'll put both chord charts up here for you. You're going to start off with your F. Now look at my third finger. It's almost ready. It's almost in place for the C chord, okay? And that's what you want to think about. How do I go from this chord to the next chord quickly, smoothly, easily, okay? So as I'm playing my F, I know C is going to be the next chord. I want to kind of hover that third finger right above where I'm going to drop it down for that C chord. So again, C chord is down here. First string at the third fret with my third finger. All right, so let's start with the F, and then we're going to switch to the C chord after 8 strums. So when we get to about 6, make sure that your third finger is in place and that you're ready to drop it down. And as you drop down your third finger, you just lift the other two. You don't have to move them. You don't have to take your whole hand off. Keep them close to where the F is going to be because we're going to go back to F after 8 strums on the C. All right? Okay. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. All right. So from here, we can play another song. Now we got 2 chords. So just listen and get it into your ear. Here it goes. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clement. And I switch to C. Time you were lost and gone. Back to F. Forever, dreadful C. Sorrow, Clement, F. Time. Okay, one more time. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you were lost and gone forever, dreadful sorrow, Clementine. Just like that, we got 2 chords and we've got 2 songs. All right, so that's it for today. Play around with that. Again, the key things, make sure your instrument's in tune, make sure you're holding it correctly so that it's comfortable, make sure that you're putting enough pressure on the strings, make sure that you're arching your fingers up nice and high to let the open strings ring. Then you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up, you know what your next chord is, and you kind of hover your fingers above that in order to make that change as smooth and simple as possible. Okay, folks, that's it for today. We've covered actually quite a lot. In the next video, we're going to take a look at another chord. So we're going to now have 3 chords. And once you get 3 chords, you can play literally 100 songs easily, okay? Play around with that stuff. You got any questions, drop it down into the comments section. I'm always more than happy to help you out. And until we see you next time, keep smiling, keep strumming, and have fun. Bye for now.